Welcome to my world. This is New Zonk City. This is a world that I've created all the way back in 2018. It's a world that I've worked on and off for, like taking years off, spending months, just 40 hours a week, playing the shit out of this world. It's a very hit or miss. It's that kind of world where you've had that 2-week Minecraft addiction 85 times, and you've had easily enough time to build everything you possibly could have wanted to. And then you could just keep exploring, keep building. This is a world that I've had on single player, on multiplayer, back onto single player, back onto multiplayer, back onto single player, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. All while not handling the entity data and the files with much care or regard. So because of that, there's a few things wrong with this world. Of course, you go from 1.17 to 1.21. That's also going to cause some weird stuff. You got chunk borders, you got completely different terrain masses, you got artificial building that, you know, that old terrain doesn't look good. You just want it to look pretty. So you just build it yourself instead. You make an entire artificial coastline. Why? Because Minecraft is too shit at doing it for you, so you just have to do it yourself. This world itself isn't called New Zonk City. This area is more so New Zonk City because there's quite a few areas that we built throughout here. There's places in the Nether. We've got an entire Nether hub. The end used to be pretty good, but I took a look at it and it's not goddamn pretty. But I want to take you through and show you, basically. I want to show everybody what me and my friends have done over the space of like 5 years. This world is single player now, so I'm pretty much the only one here. Well, there's Max too, but his computer's a little messed up, so he won't be here for a little bit. But there's both of us. This is mostly just a single player thing. I still want to show you everything that we've created, because it's not just me. There's probably 5 or 6 other people who contributed to this world. We had a little bit of a corruption issue where every single entity on this world is now disappeared, so that's not working. The raid farm is not working because the villagers have all disappeared out of it. This iron farm right here is not working because all the villagers and zombies have all vanished out of their little cells. So now this world is just oddly silent. Still, it's very pretty. This entire coastline, I basically made completely artificially. I built it up slowly by hand, using cobblestone and sand. It's completely underneath this whole section here. This was all built underwater by hand. There's a second coastline underneath there that I had to cover over top of. So if I actually look under here, and I look under here, this was an entire little coastline. This was an island that I effectively completely filled in.
Hi, babies.
I also have one of these cool little mods that adds a bunch of actual birds to the game, like pigeons, fowls, chickadees, blue jays. So if you're wondering what all the tweeting is, all the bird noises, it's them. It's not just ambience. I do have an ambience mod, but it's actually birds spawned in and they're tweeting around. So for the next kind of... Actually, no. I'm not done explaining that yet. I'm not done explaining that at all. So because of this coastline, I made basically an artificial cove. So this whole entire coastline here is all custom built as well. It's all custom textured. I basically wanted to make a giant, like, cave coastline because kind of to mimic Newfoundland. Both Max and I used to vacation down in Newfoundland, and a lot of their beaches were like this, where you had these giant overarching caves and cliff lines that went right along the water here. You just get a little narrow band of sand, and then it's just all sheer cliff face. So this was like my first kind of learning how to texture, which was really nice. Took so long. It took like 3 or 4 months to get this whole thing done, because not only did I have to texture the outside, but I had to texture in here as well. I kind of skipped doing the roof because that seemed pretty unnecessary. Yeah, doing this all by hand was quite something. And then once the moss caves came out, I was able to sprinkle in some more of these cave vines and glowberries, make it a lot more condensed and natural feeling in here. We used to have a whole bunch of sea turtles in here. This used to be like the little tidal pools is how I used to have them, to where we'd have little bunch of little sea creatures crawling around in here. But you know, since all of the entities disappeared, the sea turtles did too. So yet another place that is just devoid of life now after the corruption. Overall though, it's a very pretty cave. I'm super proud of it. And then it came up, it all comes up into here. Oh, that's another thing. It's also super goddamn laggy just because of the sheer amount of stuff that we've done. So we come up here, and it's just this nice little like ring. So what it ends up turning into is like just a nice little pit. It seems like a pit, but in reality it's a cave entrance to this beautiful luscious cave. Not only that, but when you come down here, you can see there's a little path right here using the bamboo, because this is when bamboo first came out. I wanted to make a build with it. So as long as we follow this little cave here, this little secondary cave, we can come out to the other side of this, where I wish I could have textured this more, but I don't know if I'll come back to that. Following this out, I created an entire turtle-focused enclosure. This was specifically for sea turtles, so I wanted to make an almost like zoo enclosure for them. But they're all gone, because they disappeared when the game corrupted. So now it's just like an empty cage. There used to be dolphins, used to be tropical fish, and you could just come in here and there was just turtles lining everywhere, just scoot, little baby turtles swimming around in here. It was really pretty. All of this I manually built. It wasn't naturally spawned here. And just also having the background of the different buildings, the different skyscrapers off in the distance, it makes this feel so condensed. I've always been trying to make like a San Francisco, LA kind of like summer city, really just happy kind of city vibes. Modern, clean.
Is there something I don't understand? Oh, fuck!
Kind of the vibes I've been trying to get off with, because you even got that nice apartment building up there. Which I do plan to add more, so there's going to be even like more buildings along there, so it's going to be, you're going to actually feel like there's a proper full city past this coastline. And then you can see here, we came out through there, and we could also go up there. Like, that's kind of another big thing I like to do, is just having paths interconnecting just everywhere. So once you come out through the cave, through the cove, you can come up here, and this will actually get you onto the sidewalks to the city. Oh, I didn't know there was bees here. They're long gone too. This kind of whole section was meant to be like a sort of coastal, you could stare off into the ocean, admire. I built this way before this, so this I didn't realize this would kind of obstruct it more than it should have, but otherwise, it's a really beautiful kind of side path. You can also see the big old suspension bridge that we entered on. I do plan to have some kind of city. I'm probably going to have another city kind of interconnecting, because the way this kind of works is it'll loop all the way around, and if anything, we could probably have just the continuance of the city connecting this bridge, and this is more so just bridging this large... It looks like an ocean, but it's more of like a cove or a gap. Fucking pigeons, dude. And this will get you to my literal first base. This was where we first settled down when we spawned in. So this was actually my starter house. I built a nice little tower, kind of did it floor by floor. Honestly, I'm super proud of this, because it goes, like, it's got like 4 floors, it's got a basement where I had all my storage area. But you might notice, high radiation levels, detonation of multiple IEDs. What could have possibly happened, What could my dumbass possibly have left open and done, As you come down through here, you'll notice there's also a nice little park on the left here with big old fountain and stuff. We're gonna see that in a minute here. As you can see with this, we have a do not enter sign, where you can't access this anymore. And we also have the original villager's house, where this used to be a village. We kind of built all of our houses in and amongst the village, and then the village went bye-bye. So to commemorate it, this happened in June 26th of 2022. And then back in 2021 was when this happened. We actually had like a zombie in here, but you can see the backside got blown out. Might as well go down in here, because this is where we had a nice little cow pen too. It was a super nice tiered design, so it looked very condensed. It was like built into the hillside. It was just super pretty. Really liked having it there. But then I made the mistake of forgetting that whitelists were a thing. So I forgot that you were supposed to actually whitelist a server when you make one, because as it turns out, the way that website hosts work is they will just give you somebody else's IP, somebody who has stopped paying. So what had happened was the person who had that IP previous left their world on their multiplayer list. So when we got ours, our world popped up on their multiplayer list. Because we didn't have a whitelist, they were just freely able to join. Where was Spawn? Why, it was like right here, so he spawned right next to my house. He then went down into my basement, where I conveniently had 2 end crystals as decoration pieces, as centerpieces to my base, to my storage room. I had one here, and I had one here, with chests surrounding it, everything. You can see here by like these little pods. We had these little pods of chests everywhere. He grabbed my TNT, he spammed it everywhere, he blew up the end crystals, and nuked this place. He then went on like a little kind of tirade, kind of blew up whatever he could, and then logged off, and that was the end of it. So because of that, my entire base was destroyed. Very unfortunate, we don't like to see that. Normally, a lot of people would just straight up quit when that kind of shit happens. Not me though, not me. That really just motivated me. Because then, I coincidentally had an Aztec pyramid that I was building very close by. This was that park that you saw, and this is the house. So I went and turned this Aztec pyramid into my new base. Where I had this tiny little guy, I now created my own mega base. So let's just go inside. I hope you guys aren't getting annoyed by the bird sounds yet, because I find it frankly hilarious how much noises they make. It's the robins, the chickadees, and sparrows. They make so much noise. This is my base. So after that whole thing, I ended up spending easily 2 or 3 months, and I created like an inwards pyramid. And it almost made me feel like a demigod on the server, because just look at this goddamn place. I didn't really go off of any designs. I just went off like I built the Aztec pyramid on the outside, and then I kind of formed this outwards. Kind of wanted to create a second floor. So because of that, I have a couple of water elevators. So at any point, you can just come up here. There's just a nice little relaxation area, which to a lot of people might seem uncanny, but to me, I find oddly pleasing. It feels like one of those, like, derelict abandoned malls where you get that like nostalgic feeling, and I find that oddly comfortable. So this is where I will just stand here and I will just chill. Got some good old floating pillars in the center here because I wanted them to connect up to the roof, but they look kind of weird, so I thought it was a lot cooler of a design to kind of leave them suspended so they're more of a decoration piece rather than a support piece. Ignore the fact that it's off-centered, ignore that, because it's, we have the nice little spot here where I've got all the different plants and shit. I feel like this is kind of like an alien base where they're experimenting or some shit. They're kind of logging all of the different resources on the planet. So we've got all the different kinds of trees, all the different kinds of flowers, all the different kinds of vines and shit. Over on this one, it's... Oh, that sucks. It was a study of like the music of Earth and shit. Like there was a bunch of what do you call them? Music discs on item frames. There were paintings. It looked a lot cleaner. Like that's why the jukebox. And so this was more of like the study of the humans' kind of arts. And then built into that, I built my nether portal. So that looks really sick. And it looks like it's kind of like eating out. It's like little purple crystals are coming out or something. So we've got my enchanting room, which I think is pretty sick. I wanted to do something with Skulk because it had first came out. I built this when the Skulk update first came out, and I wanted to create like a little star pattern, so like when you're further back, it looks all dark and you can't quite see. It looks almost like a... And then once you go in, it was kind of intended that it was like more like a little island kind of suspending out in the middle of space. And we've got all the little stars and stuff floating around. My whole enchantment setup. Did I really say enchantment setup? Brewing setup. This is a whole brewing setup. I've got all the different kinds of potions I was going to put in here. I never really got too far with this, as you can see, which... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, interesting. Splash potions look different. This is a texture pack that I have. Yeah, it was a pretty simple, but I think it was pretty effective for what I wanted to get across with this. And then on the other side of the... arts, we've got my forgery. So we've got a whole furnace array, so all you have to do is drop ores or food, whatever you wanted to cook, into the green chest, and then it would automatically cook it all, and then it would all wind up here in this bottom chest. And then if you wanted to put any fuel, you would put it in that right side chest. I was really proud of this because it looks like a big old industrial forge. It looks all dwarven and shit. Got big old plumes of lava. I have a mine shaft going down there that I haven't I haven't finished that at all yet. There's still a side missing on it. But this was meant to be my, like, mining, forging, smithing, upgrading area, because I got a whole stack of anvils here. So across from there, across from all the plants and agriculture, we've got my storage room, which takes up pretty much the entire half. We've got half of it, we've got this half taking up the storage room, or the storage room taking up this half, and then we've got the forgery, brewery, and then, forgery and mine, brewery, all the utility stuff on this side. And then we have the main entrance down there. I am pretty sad about the main entrance, however, because I had unique cats of every kind all name tagged and centered here, but because all the entities are gone, they're gone too. And that's kind of the main gist of my base. Thanks to all of the trees I have on the outside, that's why you're just getting bombarded by fucking birds all the time. They spawn on leaves. And so naturally, since we've explored that, my pyramid, we might as well go into the park, because this park has a little bit of a special kind of nature to it. So we've got this kind of center altar here, which I like to see as more like it's like an old time gate, like Stargate kind of thing, that's all ruined and broken down. And then we have this whole entrance, and so this is like a monument that got like preserved. Then we have a nice little flower bed here, which this is actually surprisingly something I have never fixed. This was when the guy who nuked my base, he got all the way over here and he bombed this too. I have never gotten around to it. I've built all of this around it, but I have never fixed this one little spot. We've got this little, this nice centerpiece, and then as you're going along here, it's a very nice place to walk for people if they want to walk through. We've got beacon beams because, of course, there are resource packs to remove these, but I just like the flex of having this many beacon beams all over the place, so I just enjoy having them shooting up into the sky. A lot of people say that they kind of take up the space and ruin the sky a little bit, but I tend to like them a little bit more, so I like to keep them. And as you're walking through, you can there's multiple paths, like there's another exit out to the road there. If you want, you can go down this way, which goes down to that road, so it's a nice little connector in between. You can keep going this way too, because it's got like another fountain over here, which is really nice. Like a lot of plants over here. A lot of stuff to block your view, so that way it kind of more focuses you to this side, and you can appreciate this nice big fountain. Just look at that. I was super proud of this. This was like the second thing I built after this. That with all of the big old lights that we got, it is so pretty. I'm really proud of this park in general. It kind of hooks around over Max's, because this was Max's first base. This is where he had his entrance. I just built it around there, and then he had a whole mining resource tower, which is sick. But I'm getting sidetracked because we're focusing on the park. So as long as you keep walking through this part and you go all the way to this back corner here, you might notice there's a little bit of a side path here, like a little secret area. And in here is like this nice little kind of secret pond. It's like a little relaxation point. Brings your eyes up to the big old towers so you can see them. It might maybe have some more off this way, but maybe not. At least this way you can see all of these towers. And it's just, especially when you have shaders on. I don't have shaders on because I don't have them working on this pack yet. I did before in the previous iterations. It is goddamn beautiful. Not only that, but in this barrel, we actually had some axolotls here. Only one of them survived, but we had 3 axolotls here to begin with. And I'm glad that there's at least one. That's the only way that enemies are surviving on this world, is if they accidentally get put in chests somewhere. But basically, you would just have little axolotls swimming around in here. And the biggest part was our very first dragon egg. I decided to give it like a little nest in here. Like this own secret little hidden nest, and that was the kind of main reason why I made this whole area, is I wanted a nice little secret nesting spot for this guy. I'm really proud of it. You might be wondering what these are. It's just the normal tall grass. It's just a texture pack for it, like a lot of this. Extra little textures and stuff, just to make stuff look pretty. So now we're going to come back out from the secret little park area. So now that we're at the cross section here, we're going to take a good old run back to the first place that I've built. And we're actually going to go down the first path, because this has been here for so long. This was one of the first things that I textured, was this whole road. I wanted to make it all look kind of old and worn down. This is like the old section of town. Every city has like a very old neighborhood where it was like built in the 60s the very first time. This was our old mine. Oh, never mind. We must have covered that up because this is where we had a little mine entrance, so it's like a little sewer cover. And And we've got our community nether portal right here, as well as the actual mine where that was blocked off. It used to go all the way down through here, so now anybody who needs to mine can just go down there. Wouldn't recommend it because I see shit down there, and then you can come back up with the bubble tunnel. That's the biggest thing, is getting the bubble tunnel and the drop tunnel. Huge. And so this was like my main kind of pride factor when it came to this whole area, was this kind of like, it came down and kind of everything formed naturally into the hill. I really wanted to make like a rundown, kind of damaged kind of whole section here. So I'm pretty proud of it. It's really looking good. It's the most complete probably out of everything in this world so far. Because I was touring around and there's a few things that are not quite complete that I kind of half-assed and didn't finish, so there's going to be a lot of things that I can come back and finish. And you can see here we've got a waystone, which is our first bit of a, you mod? Yep, we sure do. When you've played this game since 2011, you get bored of the normal game. So this is the community hall, or the community storage, as I like to call it. It's kind of like a big old bank structure. And it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb here because I used quartz completely to build it, and I kind of modeled it after, I don't know what you call it. It's like ancient Roman design, where you've got the whole big upper roof with a smaller building inside of it, and then you've got columns going along the outside and shit. I was really proud of it. And the reason why I built it here was because down here is where our chunk error is. We basically dug a 2x2 chunk hole. If I was to go along here, you could see it lines up exactly perfectly with two chunks, a 2x2 chunk. We did this way back in the day to get our first, like, because we normally would do this back on PlayStation and shit, so in that way you can get a huge amount of resources, so you could build with stone or andesite or whatever you needed. Then a little old update came out where they decided to extend the bottom of the world. We had originally built down to here, and I had built all of this before that update. Then they made it where bedrock then turned into deep slate. So we were able just to dig down even further, so we did. And I made it visibly apparent, which you can see the second time around. I did not give that much of a shit, and I didn't really decorate it as much, because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, so I mostly just kind of sprinkled some good old ores, put down these lights, and just made it good. Not only that, but it's also got the double effect of it is perfect for a glowing farm, so that's another motivation. If you want to have an excuse to dig one of these, at the very least, you could make it a glowing farm. Because then we just have it going straight up here, it goes right up into the chests here, so it's genius. But yeah, I made it basically look like this was like a giant battery core of the city. And this is where most of the power for the lights and stuff gets generated. Then right next to the bank here, we've got Max's big old farm. This was the first farm that we traded a lot of this for villager stuff. So this is the sugarcane, pumpkin, watermelon, carrots, potatoes, that kind of shit, and we would just go through, just manually farm, just so we could trade with our little villager farm right over there. But first, I actually want to take you inside of this thing, because I'm really proud of the design of it. You can come down in here, and it's an entire little bank, basically. This is where anybody who had extra resources, if your storage was full in your house, you would then bring the extra here. And because, yeah, we had extra mob heads and stuff, so anytime we had a huge excess of resources, we would just pool it in here. And this is all excess leftover stuff from Sam. He had all of his stuff in a different area, so I placed it here to organize, but I've not gotten to that yet. Not only that, but in the center here, should you want to go down there, you can just freely get down, and this is the access point to inside of there. Because you can also notice there's another access there. That's where Max's entrance is. He likes to tunnel. He's a little tunnel rat. He goes everywhere. Don't you, Max? Overall, though, I'm really proud of, like, the Roman design of this whole thing. This took a little while to build, but it wasn't as difficult, mostly because I had built this in a previous world, and this is like the second iteration of it, and I got to kind of go nuts with it. So there's the actual, yeah, so that's the main walkway there. You come down here, and this is the bank, the public bank. We used to have two frogs hanging off of there. So we had two frogs dangling off of leads, just bouncing freely up and down. We figured out, like, by pure accident that they wouldn't hit the ground, so they were just freely bouncing there. Not only that, but we had a charged creeper in here. Like, I had literally managed to lure, like, you build the path up, you lure the creeper, you block him up in there, and then you put a lightning rod in there. Got a lightning creeper in there. He was a whole centerpiece for so goddamn long. And now he gone. He gone, just like everything else in this world. So we've got the public mine there, and right here we've got another person's house. We've got Will's house. This is all of his stuff from when he quit. He decided to leave it outside. That's kind of the general social thing in this server, is once you stop playing, you just kind of leave your stuff outside for anybody else to take. And you come down here, and he made like a little hobbit hole, kind of big old house, which I am really proud of. I don't know if he did a tutorial or what, but like, he was crazy good with the design in here. He didn't get too far, like, he just built these 2 rooms. He almost got this one done. But I could see some crazy potential with this. Like, I mean, hell, maybe at some point I could take over and really finish this for him. Who knows? So coming back out this way, we actually, funny enough, we have Sam's house right here. So we've got Will's little house, and we've got Will's little house. We've got Will's house and Sam's house. And I also have this little, like, corner that I really decorated the shit out of for, like, no reason. I spent, like, 4 hours really trying to make that look nice. And I made, like, a whole little run-down kind of back alley area, because this whole area is, like, supposed to be, like, run down. So this is Sam's house right here. I don't really know how to get to it normally. I guess right here, there's, like, a little secret side path here. So you would somehow have to get over this fence, and then back in here, and then you'd be able to get up into his house through this way. And it's kind of... Apparently I don't want to misrepresent him. I think he did say he used a tutorial for this. And he's got birds in his house, which is funny. But yeah, it's a pretty nice house. That's if you were to live here, that's a hell of a view from all the stuff that we have built so far. Oh, I cannot wait to get to these buildings. That one, bold of you to assume there's an interior to that one. Yeah, so that was pretty quick with Sam's house too. That's what you'll notice. A lot of these houses are pretty quick. They took a lot of time to make, but they're not very big. That's kind of the main thing with cities, is that it's a whole lot of little things. And that's what I really enjoyed about making this, was each one of these was like a single project. Like, I decided to add in the lights, and then I decided to add in the little minecart decorations. Then I decided to texture the path, and then I decided to, like, do this and that. And with that, we've got the greenhouse, is what I like to call it. Up there at the very top, we did have a nice little bee hallway, which we'll get to, but they have since moved. So here to the right, we've got our cactus farm, which is pretty cool. It's not very efficient. It's just the standard, like, manual cactus farm. And they got, like, a nice little oak tree farm with the little things to make sure they don't go too high. So it's pretty manual farms, but it was more so just an excuse to build a nice big greenhouse, which, like, Max, gotta say, I'm super proud of him for building this. This was not me, this was Max, 100%. This side is like a little decoration, more so. We did have a pillager captain here, where we sat with him in a boat to make sure that his Unbreaking 3 crossbow got broken. My fucking god, that was a pain in the ass. We had 2 of them. They both had crossbows. One of them broke, like, in 30 seconds, and then the other one, it took, unironically, like, 3 hours to just sit with him and get him to break his crossbow. Which, of course, he got deleted too, which this was from the other, this was from the second one. So this is like a nice little memoriam, because we had him in a boat sitting here, which the boat's gone too. And then we go further in here, we actually have our vine farm. This is how we would get vines to make mossy cobble, mossy stone, all that shit. Got some decorational cactus here. Which, funny enough, we also have some decorational saplings, which that's kind of cool. If you could place them in spots where you know they won't grow, they're pretty good decorations, like little ferns. Got shears for breaking these, although we do have unbreaking mending shears now, so those are kind of useless. But that's kind of what happens in a world this big, is you just kind of forget you leave stuff. But yeah, this was the greenhouse. Like, I'm super proud of Max for building this. And also, we're going to go to the Elytra exclusive bee hallway. You need an Elytra to access it, because the only place is up here, is this landing pad. And you can see we had a bee up here. Bee farm, keep the gates closed. Because before we had it so that we just had them in the kind of middle here going along, and then they just had all these flowers to freely go to, and you could just run through, chop them all. Oh wow, we still have a whole bunch of beehives in here. Wonder if those have bees in them. These have bees. You 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 have bees. Okay, so if I wanted to make this a bee farm again, I absolutely can. But I shouldn't really, because I already have like an automated bee farm set up. I'll show you that in a minute. But this is nice. This is nice. I'm really happy that Max built this. This is pretty as hell. And not only that, but while you're in here, you could look up at the other buildings and shit. Like, this isn't even the highest point in the map, which is so cool. I love just the different vertical of just layers. There's stuff below you, there's stuff at your level, there's stuff above you. It's such a good feeling to see buildings rise up higher, be built higher. That was the greenhouse, which is pretty big. It's like a good 3 buildings worth of space. And then across from that, we have the old derelict villager hall, which I gotta say, I like this little, like, I don't know what I was, I don't know what I was going for, but it looks kind of like a little, it looks like a Pokemon or some shit. I don't know. That's meant to be the eyes, and it's like a with a big old horn. That's its mouth right there. I don't know. And I kind of made a nice little entrance area for the villagers. I honestly don't know if I'm going to end up putting them back here, because as you can tell when I'm recording, this place is laggy enough without entities. If I was to then put maps back with item frames and fill 4 floors of villagers, this would lag like hell. So I have half a mind. I'm probably just going to put the villagers in a completely new area away from the city. The city's laggy enough. Like, I'll show you exactly why. We have done so much underground here that, like, it's just causing lag by itself. Like, there's random, like, little projects and shit that everybody's been doing. We dig down. You could also, funny enough, you could see where the bedrock used to be, where you've got little lava pools here, but it's all deep slate. Normally that was where bedrock was, and then you would just go under here and you could see a whole new section of caves that we haven't even touched, because we haven't explored any of these. We haven't gone underground since the deep slate update. Like, we did it for this shit. Like, we did it for these, which were pretty useful. But, like, we have gone to so many places, dug so many holes in here, that, like, I feel like adding villagers and other shit would just make it so much laggier. But I'm still going to show you the inside, because I'm not going to remove this. There's no point to removing the inside of this. This is where we had our librarians, which they had efficiency 5, unbreaking 3, mending. They had all the shit. You could sell them paper, you could sell them fucking books, and you could buy shit from them, glass. It was so useful. Then we had our farmers here. This was like the first floor of stuff that we had, and then we went further up to the other floors. So we had masons here, which this is where we got all of our quartz from, all of our smooth quartz. And you can tell from each of these were the different kinds of glazed terracotta that they would sell. This one only sold 1, this one sold these 2 different kinds. And it actually does kind of hurt, because these are each individual, like, you cannot get these again. We're not going to get these again. And it's just like a reminder of the villager that used to be there. And then we have here, which is the brewing stands, which is where you would sell rotten flesh, buy redstone, lapis, glowstone, that kind of stuff. Then we come up here, and this was more of like shithead, I'm just gonna start mass producing villagers. So it's mostly just tool blocks here to sell them iron, and cartography tables here to buy all the empty maps and shit from. Then we had more of these to buy quartz from. And then I don't think I did anything up here. Yeah, nothing even up on the 3rd or 4th floor. Because once I was getting the villagers up here, it was laggy. But I already have, like, the whole little setup where you put the tracks through and then you just knock the block out, drop them in. Like, it's a super straightforward process. And it actually, just leaving them there, it doesn't even look that bad as long as you have it looking decent, like with colored glass and not, like, default glass. Which, it's another weird quirk of my world. I don't know what resource packs are doing, so you've got normal glass not connecting, and then you've got colored glass connecting, so there's that. I don't know, this world is so weird to begin with the amount of different shit going on and how long it's been. It makes sense at this point. We could go that way, but that way is more cosmetic. I'd rather go this way and see more of the farms. So this was, oh, you know what? Let's look at this first. This is probably by far the biggest casualty out of everything besides the villager farm, is this. I had an entire map wall going from here all the way across of, I think I had it zoomed out 3 times of the entire map. Like, you could see I wanted suburbs over here. You could see the world generation where we had gone like curve.
There's a cat under the couch, I think.
Oh boy, that's some more kitten proofing we had to do. Yeah, no, we've had some brand new kittens for about 3 days, so I would have been doing this tour a few days ago, but I've been taking care of some brand new little babies, and they're being little shits. They're finding their ways under things that they shouldn't be, so we have to keep rescuing them and then like plugging holes.
Oh, gee. The thing is, they haven't scratched their ears at all. Not since you cleaned them.
I love cats. I love cats so much, but Jesus Christ, they're a handful sometimes. But yeah, this was my map wall that I completely lost because maps are entities that are on item frame. We didn't keep copies of like anything anywhere. So like this is just all empty maps in here. Like I've got the supplies to do it all again. That's where I was trading with all of those villagers. But at the same time, I have to go and map those all out again, which took days if I remember right. This was a whole thing. And then here we had a job board where when there was multiple players, you'd be like, I want somebody to build something, but I don't know how to build it. So you'd be like, you'd place a sign here and be like, I want a tower built or whatever, like this block, this many blocks by this blocks, I'll pay you this much or whatever. But that never came to fruition. And if you know, you know. Simpler times and all that. We go right here, the iron block building that you've all been looking at for like the past entire video. You keep seeing this was actually a mob farm that unfortunately doesn't work anymore. It uses the defunct design of scaffolding, so as you can see there's no mob spawning on there. So it used to work, it used to be very effective, and you could do a whole flushing system to where if it was down, it was on, which it's off, but it's up. Okay, whatever. But it was, yeah, it was just, it doubled as a super cool looking building. I'm super proud of how it turned out. But it's basically just serving its only purpose it was ever intended to. It just looks good. But down here where the garage would be, we have an entire garage door of barrels full of random mob loot because it was spawning everything under the sun. Spiders, bucking, I think everything but Enderman, because Enderman would just teleport away. Even witches. It gave us everything, so that was a pretty nice building. And then right across from it here, we've got a tiny little cactus farm. A little guy that's just meant to sit around and passively get us cactus over time. I don't even know how much it's given us. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty expected for... Yeah, just a little itty-bitty little cactus farm to provide passive lime dye for Max whenever he's building his stuff. And then across from the general purpose mob farm that is no longer working, we've got this, which is the chorus fruit farm. I basically got into a mode where I would build a new farm and then I would put I'd put a building over top of it. So this is kind of what I came up with. I kept using end rods and stuff like that, and I thought the quartz design looked pretty cool with it, along with the extra city design, which, I mean, I'm not proud of the roads now, but this was like the first design of the roads that I came up with where it wasn't intended to be with traffic, it was only intended to be foot traffic, so it was like more just big streets where you could have a bunch of people walking and not cars driving, although you can fit. It's debatably a 1x1 lane road, but there's no markings or anything. But more importantly, this building, it's pretty unique. Like, of course, there's nothing inside, of course. Yeah, also, on the side of this building, I incorporated the little supplies that you need, because you actually need stuff going into this. So you would normally grab some of these chorus flowers, then you would go in, take your bow, and you would have to manually shoot a few of these, and then once you did that, you can then just flick the lever, and then the lever would wash all of the plants and everything, all of them down into here, and then you would have to manually take the chorus flowers out. And this was the whole Lucis. Generally, pretty standard design. I'm kind of proud of it, because it's like, it's just very clean and fits in with the whole city. And you've got it right next to this building, which... It was kind of cool, because at first, this was the first, like, multi-floor building that I built, so this was the highest building that I built. Then it was this building, or that building was the highest building that I built. Then it became this building was the highest building that I built. Then it became this building was the highest building that I built, and then it moved to that one. So it's like, it kept transitioning to which building was the new highest building that I created. Which, yeah, no, I'll kind of explain. There's a couple buildings that I used a tutorial for, like that one you might even recognize. That one I did use a tutorial for because I wanted that kind of a standard modern building, but we'll get to that. Funny enough, the direction that we took was like a very indirect route because we started out on this bridge. So normally how somebody, if you were just entering New Zonk City, that you would enter the city, you would be coming down this path here, and you'd be running along, and the first thing you would come across would be the park here, as well as the Aztec Temple, my main base here. And this would be like the first kind of thing that you run into, which I do like this. You can either jump in through the top or just walk in if you don't want to climb all the way up top, or if you need to leave without flying out the top, you just leave through here. You keep walking along, and there's the park here. There's the extra entrance. Here's the general purpose mob farm, the little cactus farm. I do want to put something in here, though I'm pretty sure... No, I'm leaving this for Max. This is like, Max is going to do something with this once, especially now that we have this world back. Max is actually going to continue, like once his computer's all up and running and fixed, he's going to continue working on this. So that'll be cool. There's going to be 2 of us working on this world eventually. Like, this is also Max's base, but it's not finished at all yet. Like you can see, we used some modded blocks. We have definitely incorporated the use of more modded blocks the later and later we went, because we just started adding mod packs to this. So we've got the Chorus Fruit Farm here, which still looks pretty fucking cool. We've got Max's front entrance here, which is really cool actually. I didn't notice that. He used those. Got a nice big pool entrance with a big old statue you can see at the very end of a huge hallway. So this is going to be absolutely sick to see when he's done with this. And we go down here, and we can see the first unfinished sin that I have. Because this, I can remember, I did not finish, and I kind of went and did other things, and never finished this. This was more meant to be like an Empire State-styled building. So this one was another one completely designed by myself. I did this bit first. I'm pretty sure I took some inspirations. I really hope I didn't follow a tutorial for this one, because I'm really proud of this, but... I took some inspirations, kind of you do the whole plan first, where you go all the way along the bottom, and then you kind of build upwards, floor by floor, and that's where I got this kind of nice brooch here, where it like substantially goes inward, and you keep going up here, and that's going to be the same idea here, is we're going to have a huge brooch inward as well here. I just don't know how to do that yet, and I think that's probably what got me to stop, but I have a feeling that this building is going to be the actual tallest building above these ones. I'm going to build it even further up. I don't know how tall, because I have no plans for this building, but this is kind of what I came up with. And also, it's not very good with the lighting and stuff. It kind of turned into a mob farm for a second, but then I learned after the first floor to... Because in here, I think, is more of a mob farm. I don't know. Or did I light it up properly? I must have lit it up properly now, because difficulty is on. And you can see Max has this whole section here. He's doing something with this whole area. And we even have plans to build the road to keep going down this way, because, funny enough, the land keeps going that way. I just wish I had a map to show. I don't have any kind of maps to actually show where the land all goes. So this building is completely decorational. It was one of the first skyscrapers I built for no reason. And this one was the second one. But this one actually has more of a use than this one, because this one you could fully go up into. It's fully furnished, like literally you could straight up move players on your server into. Like, it's got a whole entrance. I didn't finish that. There's supposed to be some light chandeliers hanging down, but I never got to finish that. And there's an actual entrance here. You could do some kind of elevator design. That's another thing you could do with the space. And then each floor basically has like an entrance like this. So each floor is like its own apartment. It's like a full-sized house here. Big old hallway. Really pretty in my opinion. This is probably one of my favorite skyscrapers that I've built. Even though it's not my design, it's hands down one of the cleanest looking, and it fits the vibes of the city that I want. Like, I want this kind of modernist, clean, just pretty looking city that you can just feel good looking about, or you can feel good about looking at it. That's a whole little farm tower, which I'm pretty proud of, because that's a whole collection area for all that, even though you can clearly see it just doesn't work. Like, the pumpkins and shit do not get harvested out of them. But it's the thought that matters, right? Yeah, no, it's just another thing that doesn't work. It's got a cool little fish aquarium in it, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But yeah, that's the this is kind of the build layout for this entire place. You got like this little special unit every few floors where you've got like a big old open balcony for them. So you go up like 6 floors, you get another nice open balcony, go up another 6 floors, you get open balcony. It's just it's very pretty. It breaks up the structure. So when you're looking at it, that's a huge breakup. It doesn't look nearly as monotonous as like something like that. That was, as you can tell, that was my design. Very flat and bricky. But yeah, you can literally, like, just adding paintings and shit, like putting in your own personal belongings, you could fully move a player into here and have this as their base. And they would just have to go down the entrances like every other peon. With this building, it doesn't take up the whole plot at all. Like, you can see it is a decent... It's got like a slice compared to this other building. So with the other half, I filled in like a nice, just pretty pool, like a nice relaxing one with shaders. Oh my lord, this looks beautiful. Yeah. It's very pretty in here. So when you come back out here, the next building that you're gonna see is this one. This is the farming tower. You've got sugarcane, pumpkins, and then on the other side you've got watermelons and bamboo, and it's a quad farm for all of them. And I don't know if it still works or not. I doubt it at this point. I think it's completely 100% filled in. Yeah, it doesn't produce at all anymore. Because the redstone just does not really work. Although with this, I don't even... Oh no, there's observers at the top here. It's supposed to work, but... Yeah, they just don't. And I don't really care to get it to work again. Because it's more so just to fill in the space. Kind of more of a decorational thing. And like even here, even these guys, these ones do get collected. These ones do work. You can see it actively getting worked a little bit. And the way that those work is they get spit out the bottom, they slide up, and then they get shot up through these little elevators. And there's no way for just like the general public, for like somebody without an elytra to access up here. You do need an elytra to get up here. I still haven't figured out what I want to do for that yet. And right up in here, you can access all of these resources. I think it's over here. It's always on the left side. Yeah. It's always on the left side going to the right because redstone is stupid. But you can access even kelp, funny enough. Oh wait, no, I remember what that was from. That was from the bubble elevator. I was going to show this building yet, but this park I have not shown off yet, and it would kind of be a little bit out of order not to do so. So this is my cherry blossom park. I built this when cherry blossoms first came out. You can tell there's a lot of history in this world because as each update comes out, I make like a big build for it surrounding it to kind of celebrate it. So I made like some nice, very natural pools. I really use I use this to practice the kind of natural, like make all the blocks as small as possible. So you got pretty much nothing but stairs and corner stairs and half slabs and shit. There's no full blocks of anything. There used to be a bunch of tropical fish and stuff that I just dumped buckets of in here, and they were just chilling in here. But of course, since the entities all left, so did they. So we've got a nice little kind of central, like, multi-tiered pool where the fish actually did. They would swim down into the bottom, and so they could swim in between the two, which was pretty cool. And then you would go up here, and it's basically just nice. It's just nice, covered in leaf petals. I had another resource pack that like gave it like, so there was like a bunch of cherrywood logs kind of sticking out. I haven't been able to find that one, so I don't think it got updated for 1.21. But this is just overall just a nice, pretty little park. Just enjoy the big old fountain that kind of spills. I'm pretty sure. No, it doesn't. Okay, I had it before where it spilled down into the pool to kind of make it so like this pool was not supposed to be here and it was kind of flooding from this. But I think it looks a lot prettier when you have the fountain with the two separate pools. So you've got like a little bit of nature with the nice, satisfying human touch to it. I'm an industrialist. I love having concrete parking lots. I love laying down sidewalks and making my own concrete jungles. So you would come along through here, and it's just very nice, just a very nice path. You can go off in here and kind of sit in the pedals if you want with your friends or whatever the fuck. And you basically would just come along, and then there's just this nice, like, enclosed, kind of like, almost like a sitting area. I'm kind of tempted to put in some, like, benches, because now that I have, like, macaws, yeah, like, I've got all of this stuff, so I can make some kind of bench. I can make it look really pretty. That is definitely a texture. Anyways. yeah, I could put some benches here, make this like a nice little seating area. Like, you can see a lot of the city from here, which is really nice. Got some nice open sky as well, so you can see the other buildings. Which is a lot of stuff I didn't think about when I was first building it. But it's a lot of just happy accidents, which is really nice. You have no idea how long I've been waiting to do this. Like, so there was like, as I was building this for years, I was just taking screenshots because my computer could barely run this game. It was not able to record this, so the best I could do were screenshots and just taking screenshots of everything. And just the dreams I had of just being able to record it and the things that I would do and just being able to show it, like, so that people would be able to appreciate this and this wouldn't just be stuck on some hard drive that nobody would know about except for me. At least with this being up on YouTube or somewhere, other people can appreciate this because this took so long to build. Moving on from the Cherrywood, from the Cherrywood Park, we're gonna go down this way because I just wanted to show this unfinished area. This is basically gonna be, I think, the rest of downtown. I'm pretty sure this is where, like, I'm gonna put more skyscrapers here, but pretty much leave it at that, if at all. I was thinking of putting one more layer of skyscrapers along this half, and then have this second half be mid-rise apartment buildings, because there's a whole logic behind, like, your skylines. Like, you want them to rise down slowly like that, but with buildings instead of trees. So then that way you don't have giant skyscrapers sitting next to just little houses where they stick out like sore thumbs. Oh, hello, Loki. Hello. What are you doing? Hi. This is Kitty number 3. This is one of the older ones. I really hope you heard him. I really hope that came up in the mic. Because if you heard Loki just then, that was adorable. You might have noticed that thing there. And that's not like some world edit thing. That's a observatory that I was in the process of building. That is still something I want to do up there, because I actually had a plan where I wanted to build one there, and I wanted to build another tower maybe here, and another one like maybe here, and have a central complex like here. Yeah, I want to have an observatory up there. And because of that, I can't knock these down anymore. I was originally planning to flatten these down so I could make more city building space, but then I realized there's more world off that way, and there's more world around out that way. So this can be like a more decorative mountain range that I don't really have to mess with. And I could build like the observatory and other random shit, build like a park, because that's world spawn just over there. So I could build like a nice little like national park in here. That would be pretty cool. And so because of that, I want the skyscrapers to stop here, then it should go into low-rise apartments so you can start seeing the decrease, and then maybe some more low-rise apartments. And if anything, it would probably stop past there. Like, you would fill in the old river here, because that's a squidding farm, because there used to be a river there. We could fill that in, put in like maybe houses or townhouses or low-rise apartments, have them stop there, and then have just trees, have tree lines filling that in. And that way the city would pour out more that way and more around that way, because I still do have a bunch of roads out this way. So that's kind of the gist of what I'm thinking about with this section here. The hard part's going to be just putting in the first buildings in the first place. Little holes like this. Yeah, this is where beacons have to go. We still have to put in the 6-tiered beacons to get the jump height and speed everywhere. On the next build, we're gonna have Max's cult compound that he made. It's actually along here. It pretty much completely cuts this road off, which I really like, actually, because like normally you could have like continued roads like going off this way towards those apartments, which not a bad idea, but can't do it now. So you have like this nice just hard break, so the only way to get through there is like over there, or yeah, it's pretty much just through here. And that kind of makes like a nice view confinement corridor thingy. And here we go. This is Max's cult compound. A big inspiration was apparently like Cult of the Lamb, but it's definitely not a cult. I think it's really pretty because he went out of his way to use the like, amethyst, the kind of purple and blue coloring with Skulk. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, like everything, all the alt lightning rods are oxidized lightning rods. Oh, it's friends and foes, that's why. It's a mod. But yeah, he made a big old unholy church, which I think is really cool. And it's like all cult themed, all evil and shit. And when you come around this way, there's like a nice little side path, so you don't have to go through the church to explore it. You can go around this side, kind of look in through the side and shit, kind of sneak in and be like, ooh, what's this? But the biggest thing is when you come in through here, you can just keep following these red and blue buttons, and you will find there's an entire compound. There's food, there's a water source from this. Like, they're like completely self-sufficient out here. Not only that, but they have, oh, look at that. They have access to the lake. There's a big old lake right here. Oh yeah, that's a bench right there. I could totally put that over in the park. Yep. So it's a really good spot for this cult compound to be. And like you can see the other buildings really close by. Like an old abandoned church, kind of. Then up here, we actually have the graveyard, which, oh, that's cool. I put in the actual gravestones for it. We've got a whole bunch of lore. So we've got like Migdalin, we've got Mawe, we've got Dina, Dante. Like they all have their different rank insignias on the signs as well. Like a whole little graveyard. And then we've got a cool little altar, but don't worry, it's not a cult. It is definitely not a cult. We've got a whole sacrifice thing, which is pretty cool. I'm the best descriptor. Yeah, overall, like I'm really happy with how this build turned out. I kind of I added in. I'm pretty sure I was the one who had added in the path. I kind of decorated, made it look a little bit prettier, decoration-wise out here. But for the most part, it was Max just building all this. We're gonna look at the building that I haven't looked at yet, which is this one. And this one is purely like a decorational meant to be seen in the background kind of thing. I didn't realize until after I built it, because I built it off of a guide. This was also another one that I followed a tutorial for. I didn't realize that the scale would be so far off of these other buildings, because you got these other buildings where they're full windows, all that shit, and then you got these where it's like not even designed to be rooms. There's no walls, they're all thin. But I will give it, at a distance, it fits in very well with these other buildings. So honestly, I'm not even complaining that much. I'm pretty happy with it, and I've got like this whole kind of area filled in. But if I go down here to like where the entrance is, like there's nothing in here. So yeah, there's nothing in there, but at the end of the day, it's just a very pretty set piece. It's got, like, I think a really cool thing that the guy did when he was designing it was he made this whole, like, kind of separated section, which I think really fits in with the tone of the city that I want to build. Is this kind of modern, advanced, like, they've got all these really just beautiful techniques that they're trying out. So we've got like these like ridiculous ass plants. Lamau, what the fuck do I do with this? And yeah, it's just overall just nice little decoration piece. Got the redstone torches because those act as pretty good little like little tips on towers, because you'll see on skyscrapers they have like these little blinking red lights to like let planes know not to hit them, that they're there. And I think that's a pretty good little way to do it, as a single redstone torch. Because once you go to the Cherry Park and you're kind of at this cross section, you've got this way to go down this street, you keep going, and then you've got the automated tower, whatever the fuck this is. I don't even know what to call it because it's such a Yahoo! Thing. You go down this way, and I really like the way that I handled this. Kind of like the hill kept rising up, but I wanted to cut through it. And it eventually does match up there, but I wanted it to keep it level for this street here. I've seen a lot of cities do this, where they've got like a whole concrete wall, which this is supposed to be here. I remember I removed this and then somebody got mad because it's supposed to be here. I don't know why. This whole kind of like just hard concrete wall, it's kind of like a nice backdrop, so it kind of brings your eyes more so to these buildings, make you look at them a little bit more. And then as long as we keep going, we'll go past the church or the cult, and we almost, like, we're on a bridge. Like, we're already on a bridge. You don't even realize, but like it's one of those, these happen a lot in Newfoundland, where you get like these super mountainy areas where there'll just be like a random drop and you can't even fucking tell, but there's a little tiny like gully or something that the bridge is going over. And overall, I think it's just really fucking pretty, this entire bridge. I also made this entire lake because it used to be just a standard little river that went across through here, but then I widened it out and I turned it into an actual full lake, and connected it so that there's like a full river coming through here. And because of that, there can be like docks coming down from these houses here. There's the spot where the cult can see. And then when you're actually walking along the bridge, you're like, oh, I wonder why these bollards are up. And you keep going, and then you're like, wait a minute. Oh. And then you can see there's actually water, and it's a whole lake under there. And I'm not going to dox myself, but this is like, it fits very much with the area that I live in, up in Canada. So during the summer, it looks like this. It's very pretty. I really like it. We've got the extra little pool areas where we've got fish swimming around. Where we've got these like little upper kind of multi-tiered pools, just like with the Cherry Blossom Park. It was just like that. I went with the same design, had them all spilling out. For some reason, I'm not doing it the way I wanted to, because you can see I have wakes, because the little fish are splashing around with their wakes. Normally there'd be like a nice little splash around them, but maybe I should put some like cobwebs or white wool or something around there to make that look like little waterfalls, little poofs. And then as we get past here, we get into what I like to call the creative section. Because this is where I kind of stopped playing survival. Except for that building. I did build that one in survival. But I started I more so started focusing on mods and decorations. And I wanted to... Okay, but cats are over here. Whatever. I wanted to focus more so on the stuff that I could do with mods. So that's where you could see now we've got cars all of a sudden, even though it's a city that I did not design for cars. We've got the Yushia model cars here. And I think it's okay, mostly because I think 2 of them would fit down those streets, although with the scale, the streets are all now very small in contrast with these guys, but we're just not going to think about it. It's going to be a lesson I take on for the next city. The next city I make, I'm going to properly space out the roads, mostly because I think I have like proper asphalt, like city stuff, so I can actually make a proper city. Then with this vanilla stuff, this house I'm pretty proud of because I actually use it as a backdrop. I use it as the background for my computer. And we go in here, you can just straight right click the garage door to open it up like a natural one, and we've got all the little... It's just your standard goddamn garage. I really like it because it looks like a normal real life garage. And then you come in here and it's actually furbished in here. This is probably the most vanilla of the decorations that I have, where I'm mostly trying to use just normal blocks. Paintings are surviving over here. Okay. That is so strange. Okay, so there's... Entities didn't survive from a certain distance. That's weird, because there's entities over here, like paintings and stuff. Okay. We're not going to think too hard about that. I think my most favorite part about Yushia, besides the cars, is these like little floating decorations. They're just normal blocks, like they're not actual NPCs or anything, but you can just have these little ambient fireflies just floating around. They add so goddamn much to this. Just the ambience in general, having the fireflies, the butterflies, the moving stuff. Like you'll see here in a second, there's going to be ceiling fans that actually spin. See, that's pretty. You can see like you can see the skyline from these rooms. So like when you're sleeping. Nice. And from this direction, you'd be able to see the other houses and stuff. Like, I haven't even finished any of this yet. This is where we're getting to the really, like, work in progress stuff. So here, I'm gonna have another house like this one, where, it's gonna be the same context. Okay, so I'm guessing that's going to be a tutorial. But I was also experimenting with some other things like these custom trees that gets added with Yushia. I'm not sure how I feel about them compared to the normal trees, because I've also been experimenting building with normal vanilla blocks as well to create trees. Mostly just because these don't show up on maps. So if you were to like create a map of the area, you would see these leaf blocks, but you wouldn't see the leaves from this tree. It would be green like there's grass here. So I've more so been trying to build with these custom trees to actually give some life. Because I think they just This one looks not that great, but I think it looks a lot better than like something like this. Because it's pre-made and it's custom, it's nice, but it doesn't take skill to plant these. You just plant them down, and then they're just made like that. Not only that, but they do tend to remove blocks that get in their way. Like that's... Just overall, with just how it looks, like you got like little sleeping cats as well. Like you can just make some super comfy, just homey-ass designs, especially when you start mixing in Farmer's Delight and Handcrafted. And you can make some like proper kitchens as well, with fridges. Like look at that. Just the movement, just the fact that there's movement at all in this frame adds so much life to this. Like that is goddamn pretty. Like these are the kinds of mods that I really like to focus on adding, and stuff that really just makes the game look and feel a whole lot better. Because you can do some really nice stuff. This is all completely my design. You just mess around with blocks, and you just see what looks nice, and you can make it actually look like a real goddamn room. Sit down, and literally play with these. What the fuck? That's awesome. I didn't even know you could do that. Huh. Yeah, you can do a lot with this. Like,
I'll punch you in the face, you know that?
smooth basalt's really good for like a little back patio. But the cool thing about this Yushia stuff is you use it with a lot of stuff like these, which you turn into like different stencils. They cost wheat seeds and cobblestone, or wheat seeds and iron nuggets. Like these little tools and stuff, these little decorations are so goddamn easy to craft. So just having them in survival is not even that much of a hassle. Oh yeah, I remember this. I bet you, yeah, like, so you just get dropped down into there. What's down here? Oh, a monster spawner. Yeah, so at one point, I found that there was a spider spawner just directly inside that. So you would just stand in that, and it would click, and it'd be fine. And then it pulls you down, and there's nothing you can do. You're just stuck inside of a spider spawner down there, so it's like a fun prank to play on people. Like, just building homes like this... Oh my lord, it like the amount of detail that I can go into with this is insane. Like just with these small, like it is like literally like a 5x5 room, and you could get this much goddamn detail with it. Look at this shit, dude. Got kitties sleeping on the bed. Got a whole spot so you can watch TV. God damn, I didn't realize I made these look this good. Oh, this was the garage I was thinking of that had all this shit in it. Yep. You make your garage area. And not only that, like, you got multiple garage door colors like that, so you got normal looking block. Like, the amount of fucking detail that you can put in that you can't with vanilla Minecraft. Like, that's just what I couldn't stand about vanilla Minecraft, is you had to put in a bunch of stairs and slabs and just signs that, like, say, pretend this is what this is. How about instead of pretending, I just add in mods that make it so that I literally have, like, a proper, normal goddamn neighborhood. Like... This looks like a modern, normal, like, neighborhood you would find in real life, not a fucking Minecraft bullshit like, oh, just pretend, just pretend. These are proper little tiny houses that a family could live in. Like, it's even got full bathrooms. The only thing I couldn't get was a shower. Whatever. Yeah, like that tells you something. The one thing that I couldn't find was like a shower head, or like a good Minecraft model of it. And like all these houses have their own designs. Like this one was more vanilla. I built this one when it was with vanilla blocks and shit. Like look, the fucking difference. This is what you get with vanilla. Like I added in a couple of light switches and stuff, but otherwise it's just blocky garbage. It's a black screen that you can't do anything with. It's all cramped. I think I was actually re-updating this at some point, then I stopped. think I was really in the middle of updating that when I stopped playing. That's funny. Then we go back to this house, which is like the biggest one out of all of them, which is like really cool. I'm pretty sure, I want to say I did a tutorial for this one. A lot of these I do tutorials for just because I don't, I was starting to not trust myself with my actual building skills, so I was just straight up. I stole this fucking... See, that item frame's fine. Like, item frames over here are fine. It was just item frames closer to spawn. Now we have like a nice shower in here, like a nice big old bathroom. Just looks nice in here. Come upstairs. Spent a lot of time in Mia. Got bats on the ceiling. Made you think they were actual bats, didn't I? You got like a nice little proper bedroom in here. Yeah, like when that's a completed bridge, having that as a view is going to be nice. Not only that, you can get up on here, and then when you look all the way out there, you can just see buildings and you can see the whole city, like just overall. Just overall, the mods that I've added, I'm pretty goddamn proud of them. It makes these houses look so much prettier. Like I'm gonna do this pretty much in every single other build that I do. It's gonna make builds take longer, but honestly, that shit's worth it. Like, this shit's an art. It's a hobby. It's not meant to be done every single day. You get video out every single day. No. You just work on it. You just do it, and then when it's done, it's done. Like, it just adds. Like, it just, there's so much life in this. Yeah. So I guess last but not least, well, actually not last but not least, I haven't shown you any of the nether stuff. This is kind of the planning stage that I'm at so far, where I'm like planning, this is all going to be suburbs. And down here, it's probably going to be a port if I ever get around to it, because this is a lot. Even when I was doing this, like when I didn't have a job, I was like, it was a lot. The funny? Oh my god. There's a spider spawner in there. Wow, okay. So there's the second one I was setting up here. But there was a whole, like this whole area was flattened out. I can tell you, Minecraft doesn't naturally generate this smooth. That whole area got flattened out there. That's a whole, this is where I'm gonna put low rises and shit. That's an unfinished apartment building that I'm not done yet. So there's gonna be this whole like upper section to buildings as well, which will be pretty cool. And overall, I have built quite a bit. It doesn't seem like a lot since it's been like 8 years this world's been up, but then again, part-time is putting it way too heavy. Like, even part-time is too many hours of how much, like, for the year, like, I'd say maybe 3 of them were actively played, and like 5 of them not really. Like here, if I go onto my stats, holy shit, it's all still here. Oh my goodness. I don't know if these are my stats or somebody else's stats. Times slept in a bed 1,800 times. This world is nearly on 2,000 days. It's easily over 2,000 days at this point. Does my shit even track it? 54, nearly 55 days played. How, hold on. That's 1,400 hours that I have in playtime on this world. I am baffled that it shows this. Picked up. Crafted. Oh yeah, there's all the dirt. Which I don't know if this is like... There was some creative fuckery, so none of these... I bet you none of these are gonna line up correctly. Well, that tells you how responsible we are with, I've only broken 2 netherite pickaxes. Yeah, so we're still not done with this yet. Like, I'm baffled that it showed how many days that I'm in on this. But I don't think it shows the amount of... Yeah, no, it still says day 0 up here. That's okay. But I'm gonna show you guys the nether and the end. Because there's a lot more that we have, on the overworld, but a lot of it's just completely unfinished. And this is basically the main project of the overworld. Oh, why did I just get an experience gain in here? Does something die? Yeah, so this is our hub, our quote-unquote nether hub. We basically just did the whole giant black concrete box with some good old glass on the bottom to simulate like water, and then it's like little island here for home, island there for spawn, and it's kind of like to represent, I don't know, it was like meant to be like a big old island. And over here is the ink farm, so that's where you saw that little river farm. We used to have all these nether portals here because I could only have like a 2 or 3 render distance, so I literally needed these, otherwise I could not get across the world. I would lose myself all the time. Now I have render distances to where I can see both of these at the same time, and oh, a bird did die over here. Oh, that's good to know. It was like a pigeon or something. There's multiple dead in here. Whatever. And yeah, this was kind of this was a huge ordeal. This was a pain in the ass to build. Ice, desert, nether/end fortress, hoglands, and mine. So like we can go down that way, and you can go to the ice biome. There's a desert biome. There's a nether fortress and an end fortress down there. There's hoglands down there. There's a place you can get to go find hoglands, and there's the netherite mine down that direction, which we like to use glass tunnels, which I'll show you in a minute. So we've got the home base, which is where I came through. There's my portal, and then there's the actual spawn, and then over here is where there's like a gravel mountain, witch hut, and like some other small stuff. But I want to go up here to the nether roof to begin with, because that was one of the first things we did when we got here, was we created a nether roof. So up here I made just a nice pleasant little gazebo, and this way we'd be able to have whatever farms that we needed on the nether roof. And it was just one single block you break, and that's about it. It's pretty shrimple, and just made a nice little deep slate thing. And then that way we did torch paths to wherever we had stuff. So that's the other side of the shulker box farm, which you can see there are shulkers going. So, well, that scared me. We just need to get shulkers on the overworld side of the farm, and that thing should just start working. I don't really know how this thing works because Sam was the one who built it. I didn't build it at all, so I don't know how that thing works, but we're gonna have to figure that out. And then over here, we actually have a magma cube farm, which you can see up there is where you AFK, up in the box. And then over here is where you get all of the loot. Which, is there any, or does it go from this side? Ah, it goes from this side over. So yeah, we have a few boxes of it. I genuinely don't know why I was farming it so hard, but it's really simple. Just, this is how I can tell the corruption didn't affect the nether, was because the iron golems, they're all still here. All of the nether farms work perfectly fine, despite all of the overworld entities getting fucked. So this just basically sits there and harvests all of the magma cubes over and over and over till the end of time. And then we have these like straps to go over to make sure that ghasts don't spawn, and then you would AFK up in here. Oh, the biome transitions are painful, dude. I'm pretty sure this is where our end portal goes. I don't know actually what this leads to, but it leads somewhere. Oh, right. This was a chunk loader for the sand duplicator. There's a gravity block duplicator, and you would need this to keep it loaded. That's what that was. Which, actually, I might as well show you if hopefully the redstone is still there. Yep. Nah, this is the gravity block duplicator right here. And this is where... You'll see when I get to the end, this is where we basically just... It grabs the blocks, pulls them... Oh, this looks Broken. Whatever. Anyways, it basically just picks them up, chucks them in so that you'll have the actual block and then the entity alongside it. It'll push the block up against this, which will then send the entity into the end, which will then effectively duplicate it because it's just pulling it back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, or like pulling it up and then dropping it, kicking it, picking it up, dropping it, kicking it. But the game thinks that it's getting kicked into the end as well, so then you get a second gravel or sand block or concrete powder block. You'll get a second one that teleports into the end, and that's kind of the main gist. And there used to be, yeah, you would just yeah, it basically works like that, and that's because of that it would keep these chunks loaded. We went to an entirely different nether fortress for the end portal just for this. That's it's kind of cool. And that way you would have that running while you were just sitting on the end side. But when I'm gonna bring you to the end and I'm gonna show you why. There's a little bit of a delay to that now. Because if you thought the whole entities missing in the overworld thing was bad, just wait until I show you what the end looks like, because my god. I thought it was just the overworld and the end that were messed up, but well, I was right. I thought it was just the overworld that was messed up. But it's the overworld and the end, so. Also, that Enderman is always going to be mad at me for the rest of the time, so that's going to be great. Every time I fly by here, he's just going to run at me. We go over here, and we've got our Piglin bartering / gold farm. Now, the gold farm's pretty broken, but I believe the bartering farm is working just perfectly fine. You just have to throw gold at them. But this one is one of the classic, you just spawn a fuckload of these guys, and then they see the golem in the center. Well, more so there used to be eggs here. I think I took the, oh, I still have the course flowers on me, shit. I think I removed the eggs just for safekeeping. But yeah, the intent was for them to come down here, but that doesn't seem to work anymore. Plus, this would need to be updated with like a crafter system as well. Although, it does still have some some stuff in it, so hey, that's good. That's good. That's really good, actually. Okay. So that's like about it for the nether. I'll show you like the kind of main tunnel. God damn it, he's fucking mad at me, isn't he? I'm worried now. Yep, hi. You followed me the whole way. As you can see with this one, we did a good old glass tunnel so you can see the misery that you're safe from. Although, one thing I didn't think about was these blocks. I should have put like half slabs or something underneath them. So if you go down this little conveniently armored path, we've got the desert right here. This entire thing was just so that ghasts would not be able to mess with us anywhere we went. Or those fuckers, those were fun to fight. You can see though, this is where the thing stops because we've got ice down there, and I don't know what else down there, so yeah. I really don't like the nether if you can't tell, so yeah, that's exactly what I was worried about. That's why I put these here, was because fuckers like that spawn. So we've also got the other side of our guardian farm. Which this was fun, getting ambushed by little hoglins down here. There'd be little baby ones that spawn. And as you can see, we did a little bit of hard farming on this, which, oh, that's cool. Made like a little window out so you can see this while you have all of your guardian parts you need to farm up. Wowie, wowie, wowie. Okay, good. I don't really need to run this thing. Alright, let's go and, see the real reason that I'm contemplating my existence. You want to see what the end is like? Okay.
You're gonna die.
That's sick.
No armor.
Cope, seethe, mob.
You listen here, you string bean.
Seethe,
You ain't
cope.
Yeah, so... It's so weird.
Oh, weird.
So, we've got, like, this side that we've completed, but it's cut off here. So this is like, doesn't even know that we've done it. To the point where...
That's really cool, actually.
That's cut off. That's all of the end portal that we have.
That's really cool. I like it.
There's no torches on it. It's all reset. These are all here. The only problem is the endermite is not. I don't know how to get the endermite onto that.
You just go up there with a minecart. You basically build a little trap box and you keep throwing your ender pearls.
Yeah. But
that was like the only piece of land we left over, that little button.
Yeah, this was the only land in the entire end that we had, or in the entire end spawn area that we had.
It's really cool, actually. I like it.
And now it's done this. Did I just look at like 4 of them? I hope not. Whatever. So yeah, like we've got that shit. I mean, it's nice that this is still here. So they're all spawning there, but it's so goddamn weird because
it's like 3/4 of the end reset.
Yeah, like 3/4 of it got corrupted. Ooh, ouchie. Yeah, I really don't know how to feel about it. It's really...
I think it's really cool.
Really fucking conflicting.
It looks really cool. We could leave it like just button up.
Yeah, just the only thing that's sad is that half of this got cut off. Like if I would have made it here, but that's because the spawn platform.
Wasn't it lined up?
Yeah, because this is where we have the reception for the duplicated blocks that would come flying through and they would collect there. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about when I mean this world is corrupted as shit, because we have just stuff missing like that. There's places that are just fully reset. There's other places where it's like nothing ever happened. It's so fucking confusing. But at the same time, it adds a lot to this world. It adds a lot of history because, you know, now we have the stories of all the entities disappearing and shit. Now we have 1/4 of an end portal, which is interesting. And we have like a half working, because I'm just gonna go in there. But we only have the couple that's there. The proof that we have that we had actually killed the dragon, Max had went and farmed the shit out of that dragon. He took all of the eggs that dragon gave him, and he used it as decoration in his base, which I guess I haven't shown Max's base at all, so I guess it would be the most fitting that I'd show that. Because I guarantee you there's other stuff that I've forgotten about. We're back at the cove here. This is where the iron farm is, the bridge, the shulker farm, the cove, all that. And you'll notice down here, we've got a whole little area down here. This is Max's whole base. This is kind of like the front entrance that is not finished yet. He has plans to apparently burrow out all this area, so it's going to be like big black caves that you can't see the bottoms of. And he was going to have 2 slime farms here. It's just a very big overall, like, just cave area. This is his, like, center podium. The queen. And that's where he's got his extra stuff. It's good, at least some of your stuff is still here, so if Max's character is also wiped, he'll at least have that stuff. We have like a nice built around kind of like walk area, which is pretty cool. You come in here and it's very pretty. And here is where all of the eggs are. This is where all of the dragon eggs got placed. It's almost like an army is waiting to be brewed or something. It's really cool. And down here is like more quartz and stuff finished, which these looms, it's like really cool for like one of those grates that's supposed to grab water at the edges of pools and stuff. That's pretty cool. And then here you'll see is that entrance that I kept pointing out from up there. This is that same entrance in here. Try and build a whole goddamn thing back here. It's really cool. It's a pool area. The skulks are really pretty highlight to put in there. Not to mention those as well. The spore blossoms. So once we come further up these stairs here, with more decorations, it's mirrored on the other side as well. And this was the first or second one that we got. This is also another one. This is the Queen's Heir. Do not intrude on it. Oh, okay, yeah, it is mirrored on the other side too. Okay. That is pretty cool. Yeah, Max's big thing is he likes building underground kind of bases. This was the first starting point of the base where we had the entrance coming down here where it's no longer there, but this is still the exit here. That's my bad, whoops. This is where he had his old storage. You could see each of the things marking out all the different things. And then a cool like centerpiece to mask the beacon beams. That's pretty cool. Then over here is like the little smithing area. Oh, and there's actually two. There's another one here. This is the actual one. That's cool. There's multiple entrances. This is a different entrance than the other one. And then here's the storage rooms down here, where it's just hallways on hallways on hallways of chests. Like we have bases set up. Like we're pretty established here. And then here's the whole kind of plan wall of like maybe possible, definitely not possible. That's cool. And finally, you can just come up here, and boom, you're here. Because that's where the old entrance was in here. And then this is always the exit. And we're back up at the old house. I should actually show you, oh my goodness. I should show you the interior of my original house because it's still there. It's still completely intact. You can see that got blown up. That was pretty funny. Had a whole nether wart farm. Had a whole wheat farm and stuff out here. It was really nice. I was actually really proud of this whole area. It looked really pretty. Come up here and this was like the bedroom floor, which was really nice. I had cats and stuff laying. I still had cats laying here. They all vanished. Some nice like kind of ways to make the walls busy, look like bookcases and stuff, so that was pretty cool. Nice big old balcony, so I could literally watch, like I could look back here and this is what I was building off of, that's pretty cool. I like it. You can see pretty much every single skyscraper from this building. Up here we have the old brewing room, and then all the way up here we had the relaxation room, the spa. I made like a whole bathroom area up here. This was closed in because I had actually, funny enough, grabbed a fox, and there was a fox that I had managed to trap up in here. But now he's gone, so might as well have this bathroom door open like that, and that way you can come in and relax, and you can look out, see just the beautiful ass view. And just overall, that was kind of the main point of this build, was just to get views of everything. I think the only spot I haven't shown was the old reed farm. So we can access this, I believe, if we go up through here. Yeah, we can go up through here, because the old way that I had to access this place was through the back, because I used to have a big old wheat field here, and that has since overgrown and become very unusable in here. You would just come out through here, and then you could kind of come over here, and there was that was the back entrance to my basement, which got blown to hell. And then right here was where we had the cove. And then if you come over here, we've got a nice little abandoned sugarcane farm. It still works. What the fuck? So surprisingly enough, this farm still works. I don't know how, but slowly but surely it is. But the whole thing is that this was meant to be like a broken down abandoned house. And that's where you could see like all this stuff blown out, not really anything left. I wanted to add something here, I just didn't know what to add. This was more so just to cover up this whole sugarcane farm, but I never got around to finishing this section. I used to have a pumpkin and watermelon farm here. I just never got rid of it. It's alright. Like I'm not crazy proud of this build. It's just something I kind of threw together to have something done. Heard a big thump. Don't want to hear that with kittens. Okay, I got you. Yeah, what is all that? I love kittens, man. These are a couple of statues that that Sam was building. My good old friend Sam. He wanted to make this whole area like a kingdom to kind of build it next to my city. But that didn't really pan out, so after he stopped playing, he let me use this whole area, so then I started smoothing it out to create this kind of river. Nice big old cliff edge here, and that way I could build like a park or something here. I don't know what I want to do here. There's a lot of open space, and I don't really have a whole lot of ideas, is kind of the issue. And that's kind of what's been dragging me back a little bit. is I'll have like a good idea, and then I'll need to get the materials for said idea, and then it will take me it'll take me so long for that idea that by the time I get the material, or take me so long to get the materials for that idea, by the time I get the materials, I'll have forgotten what I was gonna do with them. So I hope I can maybe get past that with all these farms and shit that I can get up and running. But one thing I did not check either is this bee farm here. So outside the back of this, there is that little kind of abandoned path that I mentioned that I spent a little while on. If I go down here, we can just walk down here and you can see little fragments of the building and shit. It's all just very overgrown by nature. Everything's kind of falling apart and stuff. It's that kind of stuff. Then as you go through here, you can see a whole bunch of barrels. Oh, what could these be? Oh, do you hear that? There's bees working. There's bees in those hives. Basically, this is a bee farm. This is a little automated bee farm that I have. I just had it turned off because all you have to do is just put a block in front of them and then they can't do anything. So all I have to do is I'll have to figure out how to lower that block down. And then that way it just turns them back on again. But keep going this way, and then as we continue out, we come out to the tree farm, or the cherry blossom grove. That way we've got like a little slice where it everything kind of fills in, and then that completely fills in the rest of that area. Then we've got a road that goes along here, kind of loops around, and then we're gonna have probably a small building here, probably like a house or something here, another couple of apartment buildings here, maybe a house there if we're lucky. But here should be a nice big old park. That'll be nice. And then there's just going to be buildings over there. But yeah, that's most of this. That's a lot of this. I remember when I was planning on flattening all this because I wanted to flatten it out just to continue that on. But this is world spawn here, as we have always indicated by these crafting tables. This is spawn, please preserve. Yeah, like this is where we had like our very first little tunnel down, which that was cool. This is like the fact that our city is so close by. Like this is another mine that we were in with a nether portal. This is generally just this is the world that I have spent 1,400 hours on. According to this, it's probably more, because going from single player to multiplayer to single player to multiplayer. I want to look at that. This is one of Max's art pieces. I'm not sure if he followed a tutorial or not. I doubt it. Is that a tutorial or what? Oh, it is? Okay. Still, it looks really good. Oh, wait a second. Oh, wait a goddamn second. Holy shit. I gotta look at that, because I didn't even know. See, I'm still finding things that I did, and I'm just remembering. Cool little statue that you made. Little fountain. And then over here, it looks like I spent a bunch of extra time. Yeah. I made like a proper little waterfall. I don't know why, but I did. Oh my lord, I even made those. The things you do with your spare time, I swear, man. But yeah, if all goes well, I'm gonna keep building on this, and it's gonna be mad interesting what we end up coming up with. Though these kittens are kind of a hamper right now, so I think most of my energy is going to be focused on taking care of them for at least a couple weeks before I can really start like mentally focusing on this. I just wanted to show like most of what I have built here, because I mean, I was going to show off the end, because it was a floating building in the middle of the abyss, because we spent God knows how many hours clearing that fucking place. And we literally had just the pillars. Like if I have a screenshot, I'll make sure I throw it up. Honestly, I'm really proud of this place. There's quite a few buildings that, of course, I follow tutorials for. Like this one I'm standing on. I did follow somewhat of a tutorial. I did follow a tutorial for it. If you feel like sticking around while I'm doing this, like I'm basically, the next few videos are just gonna be me fixing up farms, seeing if I can get things going, seeing what I can fix. and then from there we're gonna build new stuff. We're gonna build new buildings. Like, I want to finish this city. Maybe, I don't know. I'm so tired at this point from the kittens and from the heat outside that I'm like so demotivated. But little goblin, yeah, little goblin just climbed up the fucking, yeah. I have 2 new kittens. So there's Loki and Simon, who are the absolute sweetest boys whatsoever. Like, they're the sweetest hearts. Then we recently just got 2 kittens, and they're named Evie and Cosmo. One's a girl, and funny enough, she's the first girl that we've ever taken care of, so that's pretty goddamn interesting. And they are absolute little bundles of energy, and it's difficult. All you want to do is make sure they're okay, make sure they're safe and happy.
She came sprinting down to me, jumped up on the couch and poofed at me.
Tube and Minecraft are just hobbies, so obviously pets, family, those come first. So if like this weekend I would have done this probably like the day before yesterday, but because we had the kittens, there was no chance in hell I was even thinking about getting on the computer. I'm only doing this now because they're relatively calm and I can like sneak away for a couple hours.
You say that? She is tearing shit up.
I know, I'm very overwhelmed just because there's so many things that need fixing. There's so many things that I have to get back. Like the villagers. Oh my god. The villagers. The iron farm's not working. I hope you stick around, because goddamn, this is a lot, and I'm gonna keep posting videos as I go. So if you want to stick around, make sure you subscribe. Do the subscribe, all the buttons are down there, and you have fun with those, because I'm gonna